Hi everyone, it's Erin from the Herrick District Library here with another baby story time for you. This story time is designed for those of us who are expecting infants in our lives through about 18 months or so. Almost all of this is going to be very interactive with you and your young child. Once we hit that 18-month more independent age, you might want to check out our toddler story times. Those are a lot more about doing things all by ourselves because we're getting big. This one is a little more, much more interactive with a caregiver. So grown-ups, I know that we really want babies to be in the mood to do things when we want them to be, but we also know that they rarely are. So we really want this to be a really positive experience for them. If your baby doesn't want to watch, that's totally fine. My goal is really to introduce you to some songs and rhymes that you can do throughout your daily life that will help sort of give them that foundation for the early literacy work that they're going to do as they get older. So let's get started. I have a very strange prop that I'm going to use. This first one is one that we can do. It's just a stool, but it looks very silly, I realize. This is one that we can do to teach some rhythm. And I'm going to do this two ways. The first way is if we actually have a prop. If you are a big coffee drinker and you got a really big can of coffee or some sort of large thing that they can tap or that you can tap on, and they can tap along with you, especially as they get older, this is a great one. I'm going to do it this way first, and then we're going to imagine that you're actually doing it very gently on like a baby's tummy, so that they can feel the experience too. So for this, we're going to see if you have if you have a drum, that's really cool because it's about drumming. If not, that's fine. If you can find something that you can sort of tap on as we do this, that would be great. So here is how this one goes. We're going to use our imaginations and pretend this is a drum. Here we go. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Tapping very slowly, slowly, slowly. Tapping very quickly, 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 quickly. Tapping very quickly, quickly, quickly. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. That's all it is. So one of the reasons I think it's great if we are old enough, some of us are banging on things. This is a great one where they might want to imitate you. I know when we're sitting in our high chairs and stuff, we like to bang on things in between us dropping things over and over again. So this is a great one to sort of do with them. They're not going to follow along with you all the time. They're going to be very excited about the bouncing, the hitting part. But it's a great introduction to that tapping and that rhythm piece. And because we tap slowly and we tap quickly, we get to sort of sense the difference between those two sounds, which gives us context for the world around us. Another way you can do this for those of us who are too tiny, and we aren't even sitting up yet, Miss Erin, how dare you? I can't drum if I can't sit up. This is one that you could do in front of them during tummy time. You could just tap in front of them. On the floor or on the bed. Or if they are on their backs, you can very gently tap their tummies, very, very gently, or their knees. Let's do that one more time as if we're doing it that way. And if you have an older one and they're sitting up, you can tap on their legs if they're sitting up that way. So you don't just have to do it on their bellies, but it's great because they can actually feel that slowly and quickly. Here we go. We're going to pretend this is baby's tummy, and I'm going to tap very gently. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Tapping very slowly, slowly, slowly. Tapping very quickly, quickly, quickly. Tapping very quickly, quickly, quickly. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Rum, pum, pum, we're tapping on the drum. Good job, friends. Great job. It can also, if you wanted to make that even more complex, you can also do that to syllables, which really helps them break up those sounds. If you wanted to get really, wild about it, you can do it that way. But that's, again, just a fun one to do for some interaction and for that rhythm piece. That rhythm piece is something that's going to help them when they start learning rhyming words and syllables, and helping them to sound out some of those more complex words as they get older. So the next two ones that I'm going to do are both what I call leg work. They're going to do it. We're going to work on our legs a little bit. These can both be done on a changing table if you'd like. But this gets our little legs moving in a different way. So these are great. Baby's going to be on their back, or they're going to be on your laps with their heads at your knees, and so that you can manipulate their little legs is really what we're getting at. So for the first one, you're just going to sort of lift their legs up, and then we're going to dance our legs up, and then we're going to dance our legs back down, dancing out and dancing in. It's very short. This first one is really, really short. And then the second one is a little bit faster and gets much more silly. But so here we go. So we'll have baby's legs in our hands, just like this. Dancing up and dancing down. Now we're really going to town. Dancing out and dancing in. Now our fun, it will begin. That's all it is. I love the peekaboo through the legs. If you can make that happen, that's really, really fun. Otherwise, if they're on the floor in front of you, you're just going to sort of lift their legs up. This is one of those, whenever we do something like this, if there's a lot of resistance in their legs, it's just not the good time for that. We don't want to force it. We want them to be really relaxed when we're doing it. So I'm going to do that one more time. It's a short one. And then we'll go on to our second little leg workout one. So here we go. Dancing up and dancing down. Now we're really going to town. Dancing out and dancing in. Now our fun, it will begin. You can alter some of those movements. Sometimes we want to do some bicycle legs, which works our knees in a different way and can work our hips in a different way, especially if we're really trying to work those muscles as we start scooting ourselves around. This next one is absolutely ridiculous. I've actually I've not seen this one before, and I hadn't seen this one before. This one is really fun because we're going to do leg over leg. And this is sort of a bit of a cross the midline thing, which I'm fairly certain I've talked about before. When we cross in front of our bodies like this, or our legs, when we're young, it makes connections in our brains that get both sides of our brains talking to each other. So anytime we have the opportunity to get our young children to cross in front of their bodies like this, it can help strengthen those connections in your brain. So for this one, it's a crossover one, but we're using our legs. So your baby's going to be laying down in front of you, and we're going to have, each sort of foot is going to have a name. One is Bill Anderson, and the other is Tom Trim, and then they're going to cross over each other back and forth like this. And it starts off slow, and then it's going to get faster and faster and faster. It's very silly. So at the end, you're sort of just a mess of giggles and arms and legs and things like that. So baby's on their back, and we're going to lift up one ankle. We're going to sort of grasp their ankle one at a time. So this is Bill Anderson, and this is Tom Trim. And Bill asked Tom to play with him. Bill over Tom, Tom over Bill, 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 over and over as they fell down the hill. And that's it. And you can just keep going over and over and over and over, faster and faster and faster and faster, so that it gets really, really silly. I kind of love this idea that their little feet are like these characters. It's like you're doing a little puppet show, right? It's like you're doing a little puppet show with your baby's feet. And that can, we can make that even more apparent. So let's do that one more time. This is Bill Anderson, and this is Tom Trim. And Bill asked Tom to play with him. Bill over Tom, Tom over Bill, 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 over and over they fell down the hill. And that's it. Again, this is a great one because we're crossing our midlines with our little legs going back and forth. We're getting our hips worked out, doing a little leg work that can sometimes get overlooked when we're doing our developing and our interactions with our little ones. So, hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.